I always want to have a Sheila E. moment.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm like, where my drumsticks? You know, and I want to start twirling, and I'm like, I do. I always want to have a Sheila E. moment. I don't know why, but you know, hey, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that really, you know, it fits my absolute perfect percussionist, the one that is overpaid. And you remember my little red suit guy, the one that's overpaid? Oh my God, that's every day I have to watch that. Yes. Every day I have to watch that.
How you doing today, Joy?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Stefan?
I am doing well. It is good to see you in the land of the living, as they say.
Honey, one more time.
One more good time. To see you in the land of the living.
That's right. What they say. That's what they say. We give we got testimony service.
No, not. Okay, look. You got excited. Like, hey, We a testimony service? Maybe we'll do some testimony later on.
Okay, I just need to check. Give an honor to. Okay.
You know what? But I'm excited actually about today's topic because I think it is very relevant to everything that's going on, everything that's happening, not just on the world of social media, but it's happening in our world, everything that's happening in our country, everything that's happening with business owners and entrepreneurs and everything. This right here is a topic that I think gets overlooked far too often.
As the kids would say, on period. Period.
You know what? Yes.
It's just so easy to fall into the catchphrases and the trendy stuff and this is what's happening, this is what's popular today, that a lot of newer businesses, and I will say newer businesses, because older businesses, dated businesses, your Johnson and Johnsons and your Procter and Gamble's and your MetLife's and your other entities that's been around a minute, very rarely fall into the trap of trendy. Mm-hmm. They know how to trend in the trendy without falling into needing to be trendy, whatever's going on right now, in order to stay afloat. It's almost as if it's no longer trendy, it's treading. And it's like businesses are constantly trying to stay above float just by staying popular with what's going on right now. And that's not going to give your business longevity. It's not going to give a business sustainability, even. It's going to give it a very temporal feel, because
you're absolutely right.
It's going to be something one day today, something different tomorrow, something different next week. Just who are you? What do you stand for? Damn it,
Right. And I think it's important. So when we're talking about trending without being trendy, I think the first place we have to look at is that we have to recognize what trendy is, right? And it's become so important to be trendy because of social media and because of the dynamic of how business is done right now. Social media has turned businesses into trend grabbers, right? Where the objective of many businesses is to find the trend, jump on it, and try to ride that wave to success. And there's an element of that in business growth, but you don't want to get to the place where, like you said earlier, you get trapped in the trendy, right? Because the thing that's trendy always changes. It always changes. There is no consistency in trendy. If you get locked into the trendy, you'll be a one-hit wonder no matter what. And you have the problem where you lose the definition of who you are as a business, as your business personality sits, and as an organization. You lose the definition of who you are by trying to jump on all the trendy stuff that's going on. Every dance, everything, every TikTok video, and all that kind of stuff.
And by losing your identity, you lose the source of how people relate to you.
Right.
It's just like, again, I always say businesses, they are a person, they have a social security number. If you can imagine dealing with someone that is wishy-washy, you as an individual probably 9 times out of 10 avoid at all costs dealing with someone that is one way today, some other way tomorrow, the next couple of weeks, then they ride in, I like yogurt, I don't like yogurt, granola. And not only do they switch up so often, but in their switch up, they denounce the last thing that they were doing.
Right.
So that has a tendency to happen in trending also. And when you really think of, like you said, Stefan, you ride a wave. Riding anything ends in the climactic moment. So you'll ride the wave to the climax. And then on the downward slope, you got to look for that. That's drug addicted.
Yes.
You're always looking for that very next high. And when you don't find it, or when that high is not something that you can interact in, like me personally, I'm just going to use this as an example. It doesn't have any reflection on the Oni and Avi or anybody else, y'all. Let me do that preface, even though I'm on the Oni and Avi's platform. I have never once smoked weed, ever. the CBD trend, I cannot engage in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can go do all the research on medicinal. I can go do all the research, but I can't talk to Snoop, who smokes every damn day, several
Right.
times a day, about what this does and how the high feels and why it makes me feel X, Y, and Z. So what happens when you hit that trend that you cannot interact with?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
if your sole existence has been not being a trend setter,
We
but
gonna get
just
that.
relying on trends, then you have then lost your momentum. You've lost your ability to communicate. You've lost anything to talk about, and no one really gives two shits about you. I mean, that's just the honest truth about it.
It's
You
true.
can stay on a trend, like you were saying, TikTok. Everybody's on
Mhm.
TikTok right now, but before TikTok, it was Twitter. Before
Yep.
Twitter, it was Facebook. Before
That's right.
Facebook, it was Black
Listen,
Planet.
all the
Before
way
Black
back when it
Planet,
was the
Google,
Vine.
AOL, and the AOL
That's right.
dial-up chat rooms.
Yep. Yahoo chat rooms. That's where I got messed up in. I got messed up in the Yahoo
Yeah,
chat.
you was in the Yahoo chat.
Yeah, we can't talk. We can't talk
Or
about
you
what happened in
take
Yahoo.
that. But so the question that we would like to answer or help companies and businesses understand is how to be a trend without falling into trendy.
Right. And so there's a couple of steps that need to be utilized or followed when you're looking to ensure that you are trending without becoming trendy, right? And so
Yes.
the first thing is first step is you don't want to just follow a trend because it happens. What you want to do is you want to take time to discover what's trending, right? What happens with a lot of businesses is they fall into the trap of something that's trendy they stumble upon something that's trendy, and then they say we should do that too, instead of taking the time to actually go out and discover what is actually trending right now, what is actually being spoken of, talked about, what is actually going down the road that we can then see is going to become a thing, right? Because here's the thing, once it becomes a thing, now you're just being trendy. But
Right.
when you take the time to go out and discover what is about to become a thing, then you get the opportunity to be one of the people setting the trend, and you get the opportunity to be a part of what's trending, right? You don't want to get trapped into, oh, I saw this cool thing happening, because by the time we see it happening, it's already
It's
happened
almost over.
1,000 times. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost over.
You don't want to get locked into that and then have to play catch up and allow the trend to define you. You want to help define the trend. So it's important that you take some time. It doesn't have to be every day. Please don't make it every day. But every once in a while, every month, every quarter, every couple of weeks, just take some time and go out and see what's being talked about. Discover what actually is trending.
And in order to identify the deeper layer, always remember that it's not necessarily the thing that's being spoken. It's the underlying thing that is. Example, it is not the gym shoe, or it's not the Nike Air, or it's not the Nike Max. It is whatever Nike is now pushing as the next trend of shoe. Is it because they've done something to the insole? Is it because they've done something to the heel? Is it because they are now going to be sponsors in the next Olympics? Is it because, and if it's the next Olympics, then start your conversation around what fits you in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's just going to be happening in Japan, not that it's just going to be the first time ever, blah, blah, blah. Talk about the longevity of the 440, or how those races have to, the participants in those races have to endure, and how they have to practice. Those are the conversations that set you in the trend, and not talking about the trendy topic of the Olympics, the very next Olympics.
Right. So yeah, the first thing you want to do is you want to discover what's trending. That's the first step. Actually take time to see what's being spoken of. Take a deeper dive into that thing. If you see this looks like it's going to be something, take some time to take a deeper dive into that thing to discover what that trend actually is. The next thing you want to do is you want to evaluate the trend. When we say evaluate the trend, this goes beyond taking the deep dive that Joy was talking about. this goes into the space of, does this trend match my business and my business's personality?
Yes.
Right? Once you've discovered, okay, this is the thing that people are talking about, but does this match us? Does this match our personality? There are many companies that you saw that did not get on board with a lot of the, YouTube dances and ice bucket challenges and all that. They didn't get on board with all those things because those things didn't match their business, their organization, their personality, and their brand. And so discovering what's trending is one thing, but then you have to go into a place of evaluation to evaluate the trend and figure out if it matches with you and your brand.
One of the things that I recognize with our company is people started asking us why we weren't talking about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it then set a tone for us as to where we were not engaging in what was trending, but because we weren't engaging in it, it started an entire different conversation, which allowed us to speak to our personality and who we are. And the fact that we aren't trendy, we are trendsetters. And we don't just run with everybody. That the whole crowd can be going to the right. And Stefan and I will be like, but what's over here to the left? And is that a better space for us than what everybody's doing over here? We haven't done one TikTok video.
That's right.
We both dance very well, but nobody, that doesn't have anything to do with who we want the world to see us as. Although we're fun, that is a part of our brand. We always got music going on somewhere. In our leaders retreat, in our owners retreat, we had our cups and our drinks and our music going. It's a part of us, but that did not mean that we needed to be in a 5-second, 20-second, 12-second video trying to do the whatever that dance was.
Right.
What was that going to do? So
exactly. Yeah. And that's the question that you need to ask. That's a perfect question you just mentioned there, Joy. What is that going to do for us? Is this going to set us apart in some kind of way? Is this going to help our customers or clients to relate to us in some kind of way? What is it going to do for us to join this trend?
How is it going to set you apart if you follow in the crowd? There is nothing apart setting. I was like, there is nothing apart setting by being with everyone else.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is when everyone else is standing in their little circle and they look up and look over and say, well, why aren't they over here?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and then of course you're going to get they think they're too good. They don't do this, or
and guess what?
They don't. That. You are right. We are. That's when you get to say that to the people, like, oh, y'all think y'all too good? Yes. Yes. We think our brand is not that.
Yes.
So absolutely. It's okay for that too. And never be afraid to say, yeah, you don't want me to say it. I will say it. I don't give a damn. I'm in that space. I have never taught my children. I've told my children, never ask for equality. Mm-hmm. Never ask for equality, because there's going to be the moment that you're better.
That's right.
Then what?
Yep.
Accept it when you're not. Work harder.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But when you're better, don't settle for somebody trying to say, oh, no, that's some bullshit. I'm not. No, don't do it. Yes.
And you're right, Michael Hardy. It is the same principle of companies who try to build their whole model on what they consider to be cutting edge technology, but you appropriately labeled as bleeding edge technology. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And Joy's got a great point. We need to emphasize that. Everybody's not the same. So the way I always say it when I talk to people is, do you want equality or do you want fair? Because usually what they're asking for is fair.
Can't be fair and equitable.
Yeah, they
can't be fair and equitable at the same
time. You can't be fair and equitable at the same time. Equality means everybody gets the same, right? And so if you are just jumping into a trend that's already going, you're going to get the same out of it that everybody else is going to
get out of it.
It's going to be equal for you. And we don't desire that our business or that your business get equal to everybody else. So you want to discover what's trending. Step number 1, discover what's trending. Then step number 2 is you want to evaluate the trend, right? And then once you've evaluated the trend, make sure that it matches your business personality and your brand. Then you want to set the trend in a unique manner, right?
That is unique to you.
That is unique to you. Because remember, You jumped out in front and discovered a trend before it became trendy, right? That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about trending without being trendy. And so you discovered this trend before it became trendy. So you get the chance to set this trend in a manner that is unique to you and your business. You get the opportunity to be a forerunner in this space, and you get to set the trend. And we always want to be trendsetters as opposed to trend followers. Always.
Exactly. And here's the thing, don't be so stuck on, well, I started the trend, everybody look at me, because the idea is you want people to take
on the trend.
The trend. So while we're saying be trending without being trendy, recognize that there's going to be a percentage of population that's always going to be trendy.
Yes.
So it is you, in order to maximize being trendsetters, how is a leader without followers? Or how are you a follower without a leader?
Yeah.
You know, is the beehive without Beyonce?
That's right. And recognize that the goal here is not to go viral. The goal here is to carve out a specific space for your customers to see you as a part of what is trending. Because when your demographic, your customer base, your client base sees you doing this thing, and then they see the whole rest of the world doing it 3 months later, they're going to look back and go, well, we've seen this long time ago.
Exactly. Long time ago.
This ain't nothing special. Y'all late. Like, they had this in the elite forever ago. And you establish a level of credibility, you establish a level of exclusivity, and you establish a base in your clientele that you can't establish by being a part of the trend as it's become trendy. Once it becomes trendy, it's just you're one of the other 800 videos that made this thing and did it. But when you help set that trend, you establish something bigger for yourselves.
Super Bowl. I'll use that as an example. The Super Bowl has happened since most of us have been alive.
Sure has.
It is a trending thing every year.
It sure is.
2 years ago, Stefan and I started talking about the Super Bowl because we are sports enthusiasts. We knew when the Super Bowl was going to be in our general area. And we started talking about the Super Bowl coming to Central Florida, Louisiana, down in Miami, going to be in Tampa. When is it going to be? When was it in Atlanta? We started talking about those things so that the people around us would hear it. And then by the time the Super Bowl showed up in those spaces, and we were like, well, we know vendor so-and-so that was down at the Super Bowl, or we were here with vendor blah, blah, blah. Then it was the Super Bowl is coming to town. And oh man, we didn't get tickets soon enough. Or, we didn't maximize those relationships. And mind you, saying it once again, where's the Super Bowl going to be, Stefan?
It's going to be in Tampa.
Okay, I was
Tampa,
just
Florida.
It's going to be in Tampa, Florida. And although it's probably still in pandemic where it's going to be limited seating or maybe a limited group amount of people that's going to be able to be there.
Them people ain't gonna act like it's limited. I can trust and believe there might be a limited number of people allowed in the stadium, but outside and around the stadium,
it's gonna act like there is not a pandemic anywhere. It's gonna have streets lined.
And you're in a position right now, like Joy was saying, the Super Bowl is a trending event every year. In October, 1st of November, you are in a position to do what? Do what we just said. Discover what's trending. So we already know what's trending. It's the Super Bowl. This is a great example. The Super Bowl is trending. Then evaluate the trend. How can I maximize this trend and apply it with my business personality and my brand, right? And then how do I use this trend and set it in a manner that is unique to my organization? How do I maximize the trend of the Super Bowl? Whether it's being one of the first people to release a particular Super Bowl sale or getting some type of connection with a particular team, or even last year. So last year in the playoffs, the Ravens versus the Chiefs, right? Well, not the playoffs. This was before the playoffs. The Ravens versus the Chiefs. Yeah, the Ravens versus the Chiefs. And we reached out to people in Kansas City to try to do things to benefit the trend of Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Did the same thing in the playoffs against the Titans. We said, anybody in Tennessee that's a Titans fan, we will put a bet on the game. And if you win, we'll donate this much to this. And if we win, you'll donate that much to that. And we were able to set this trend in a unique manner. We didn't create the Super Bowl, but we created a buzz around the Super Bowl for our organization. And so now the people that were following us, while they knew the Super Bowl was happening, they were also watching to see who would win. So they would figure out, is it the Ravens team that's going to be paying up or the Titans team that's going to be paying up?
And then how is Joy, and by the time it was all over, how is Joy going to make Stephon pay?
Right.
Because.
Yeah. When it was the Ravens versus the Chiefs, it was Stephon had to show up in a red shirt and Joy had to show up because he had showed up at Joy's house in purple. And there was a whole story behind the trend that was this football game. The football game was simple. It was Ravens, Chiefs, Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes, previous MVP versus possible next MVP. That's a great trend and storyline. But we made it unique to Yoni and Avia to where our audience was more wrapped up in waiting to see Stephon show up on the next Monday Night Live in a red T-shirt and all draped in all red. Then they were worried about that more than they were worried about Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. And that's one of the ways that you set the trend in a unique manner for your business. You have to be careful to not get defined by what is currently trending. If we had just done what everybody else did and been like, hey, the game and this and da-da-da-da,
wings and da-da-da-da, you know what?
And just hyped it up, then we would have been 100 people at a Buffalo Wild Wings, you know what I'm saying, about this game, and it wouldn't have been unique to us. We would have been trendy instead of being a part of what's trending.
So are we? Oh, look, we did it tonight. We did good.
You see that? Mm-hmm.
Look, but you notice, wait a minute, notice I still got my red cup.
I see you still got that nasty red cup. You need to get your purple cup and stop playing.
I do have a purple cup because
I said you need to go color. Get it.
No,
I know you have one.
No.
I think I've purchased
because
2 of them.
We are in football. We're in football season. Yes, you did, because this was one of my prizes for winning.
Yeah. That's all right.
In case y'all didn't know, what's the station, Stephon?
96.9 FM. I was just thinking about what I sent you when I was like, keep playing around, I'm gonna make you wear these.
No, that ain't gonna happen. Right here.
But yeah, we are definitely sports enthusiasts. We talk about sports all the time. I'm on the radio every day talking about sports. Joy is...
Say the station. Say the station again. I want to shame with
the It is 96.9 FM, The Game. You can catch it on iHeartRadio. Just search 96.9 The Game. Yeah, and every day we had a whole lot of talk about Lamar Jackson today, actually, because he stunk up the place this weekend.
Nobody is worse than Tennessee's kicker.
Oh my God. That was just embarrassing.
Several times. It's embarrassing on multiple occasions. It's not just embarrassing. Now, mind you, we only have once that we can talk about Kansas City because we've only lost once.
Don't worry. Your time is coming. Your time is coming.
So
we're going to let you live.
Y'all make sure that you all are elite members.
Yes.
If our country come out in that one, that y'all make sure that please make sure you join the elite corner, not just the elite circle. Become an elite member.
That's right.
Because you all that are familiar with Joy and Stephon, that visit us usually on Monday nights, or know us personally, know that we go by the rule of if you say something multiple times, people probably will start paying attention.
Right.
Probably. But you have to be elite members for the things that you have caught us saying on multiple occasions.
And we just had an owner's retreat this past weekend to further clarify some of the things that we've been kind of dropping gems on. And you want to be a member of the Elite Circle. You want to be an Elite Plus member, if nothing else. And it gives you a lot of access to other stuff. It gives you access to courses and workbooks and ebooks and special lives that we do inside the Elite Circle that you won't see on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. It gives you access to business reviews and
discounts with some of our
discounts with partners and affiliates.
Yes.
There's a lot of advantages to being an Elite Plus member. So definitely go over to eonianavia.com/join and join the Elite Circle and become an Elite Plus member or become a Premier member. And you never know, you might find yourself packing your bags.
Trial.
You might find yourself packing your bags and heading out somewhere. Might find yourself.
Never know.
But anyway, so yeah, we did good today. Yes. Trendy versus trending. Make sure if you're watching this on the replay, catch it and take notes. And hit us up if you have questions in the comments. We will answer any questions that come up in the comments. Y'all ain't gonna leave no questions, but we gotta say it anyway. Gotta say it.
Anyway. We will. There have been 2 recommendations on things to discuss, and we have brought those to the table to make sure we give our due diligence outline. We're researchers, so we're not gonna just sit up here and start talking about stuff we don't know shit about.
Right.
So don't think that we have not heard the 2 people that said something.
We're
gonna do it.
Yeah, and we will catch you guys next week. Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's Monday Night Football, baby.
Listen, she gonna be. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. By the end of the football season, Joy gonna be like, I don't understand why I had to go.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I boycotted the NFL. No, actually, I didn't ever boycott the NFL. But
no, you did. You sure walked away from the Super Bowl though, because it was acting up that day.
I did.
I'll never forget that. Joe was like, I can't watch. I'm watching it because I'm watching.
If I watch, you're gonna lose. If I watch, you're gonna lose.
Hey, that's okay.
I don't boycott.
If you were my team, if you were a Ravens fan, and every time you did not watch the game, the Ravens won, you would never see another Ravens game for as long as we were friends. So I completely understand. I am not
like, no, you cannot watch.
No, you cannot watch.
Discontinue your Hulu. Discontinue your Netflix.
Exactly.
Discontinue all your cable.
I will do personal commentary on this game after it is over. Play by play just for you.
Just so I got you. I appreciate it.
So yeah. All right, we'll catch y'all next week. Y'all be good.